Hey everybody, it's Deanna with toolsofenergyprotection.com, your energy shift expert and Akashic Records advisor. Hi everybody, it is April the 5th, 2022. Can you believe it? I'm going to wait for a few people to jump on as we always do. And then I have three topics I want to talk about tonight. I just want to talk about one originally, but you know how it is with the boss. You get on and you think you're going to just have one person, you're going to have one comment or one thing to talk about, and you don't. And by person, I mean my spirit guides. Sometimes one or two of them comes in, stands in the studio while I'm filming. Other times more of them do. So tonight there's a great abundance of them. There's so much suffering and depression and anxiety on this planet, but there's also a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, a lot of centeredness. So it depends on which side of the coin that you're on to how you're going to feel. All right, as many as you know, I've been growing and changing. And so just very quickly tonight, I added down here to Facebook. There's so many of you who say, Deanna, I really, would like to work with you, but I'm not able to participate at this time. How else can I contribute to your work? So if you're here live on Facebook, I've put down below right here stars, which I'm understanding people can click on the little star and it will show you a way that you can contribute, or I think at how many ever stars you click, that's how many pennies I get or something. But it would really help me out if you all could do that. That's a way to give back, because I do get a lot of content here, each and every week, and it would be appreciated. And let me see if I can, yeah, there, okay. I put it in the comments how you can look for Facebook stars if you want to participate in that. Anyway, hi everybody. Good to see you. Big hugs and kisses. Try to take care of the business at the beginning so we can get on to the juicy stuff. And again, tonight we're going to talk about three different subjects very quickly. And if you have any questions, please put them down here below. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and put them down below. I do check comments once a week. If you're on Facebook, please click follow. That way, when I do get on here, you'll get a little notification up on your cell phone that says, hey, Deanna's on live. And then also, if you're on YouTube, you click like the channel or follow the channel, and then you'll get notifications when I post the YouTube up there as well. So hi and welcome everybody. All right. Again, if you have any questions, please put them down here below in the feed. I'll be more than happy to get to them. And so let's see here if I can find, so many buttons to push on this silly thing, There it is. Okay. So we'll get started with our topic tonight. And so our topic tonight is three different ones. One is that I got asked recently was what is ascension? And how do I know that I'm doing it? So how many of you, by a thumbs up or a heart or a smiley face, how many of you out there are actually doing, going through what you believe to be ascension, or you've heard the word and you're not really sure about it, and you'd like to know a little bit more about what are the signs? How do you know? If you give me a thumbs up, let me know. And in the meantime, I'm going to talk about what is ascension. Well, there are a few people in this world that have said that ascension is what they're talking about in the Revelation in the Bible, where we rise up to meet Christ in the air. So we leave our bodies, I guess, our spirit, and we float up to meet Christ in the air. And that's not exactly what ascension is in the meaning of the here and now. So what ascension means is that your consciousness is being more and more opened every day, and your spiritual consciousness is rising up, because there's different levels of consciousness in the spiritual reality. Do you understand that you just live in a 3D world, and you get up every day and you go to work and you come home, you try to save money for retire, send your kids to college? That's one level of consciousness. Then there's a consciousness that we are a spirit being in a human body, and that is another, sorry, somebody put down here, the screen is frozen. So if you can see me and it's not frozen anymore, can you give me a thumbs up and let me know that you all can see? I'll make sure it's not frozen. Wait just a minute for it to catch up here. Okay, so it looks like we've got an unfreeze on the screen. Okay, that's good. Hope you, okay, so basically ascension, what is it? So ascension is your spiritual consciousness becoming more awake, aware, and alert. And so what happens with that is it's like doing a push-up. For those of you that have ever done a push-up or a wall push-up, okay? You put your hands like on the floor or against the wall and you put your nose down and you push up. Well, if you imagine, doing a push-up on the floor, as you're pushing up, you can only see in your peripheral vision about this much. That's all you can see, is just about this much. And so you're not aware of what's happening up here. Okay, so ascension is basically where there's a part of you, perhaps you're a starseed, a highly sensitive person, or an empath, that all of a sudden realizes there's more to life than just right here. Just right here. My daughter and I saw the production at her high school for Beauty and the Beast, and the gal comes out and she sings, she loves books and all this, and she's caught up in a society where women, are supposed to just get married, whatever guy wants to marry them. The dad gets a dowry, and she gets to be pregnant and raise kids for the rest of her life. Well, she's singing about there has to be more than this prudential life. So she's looking for something beyond just that 3D reality. And what she finds is the beast, because it's Beauty and the Beast. But she finds that there is a whole nother world out there of luxury, of richness. And one of her things she likes the most is books. And so the richness of the castle provides her a wealth of books to read. It's very nice. And she very much enjoys it. And then she finds someone that she can connect with. Although on the outside, other people might have seen him as not being, somebody they'd want to associate with. But she was able to see beyond that after she got done being afraid. And so what I'm saying to you is ascension is about your consciousness being higher. So you're seeing more than the prudential life, if you will. You're seeing more than the 3D world, more than the here and now, more than this reality. If that is resonating with you and you're understanding it, please give me a thumbs up and let me know. Again, I've added stars down here for those of you that want to contribute. If you're not able to have sessions or come see me in person, this is a great way to give back, and I really super appreciate it. Okay, so what's happening with the ascension is there are some of us that have been predestined to wake up at this time. So we've been kind of asleep. We have the DNA coding for us to be able to wake up, to realize that there's a whole spiritual world that connects into our physical world. And there's many different levels and layers to this beautiful reality that we're in. And as you do, I'm going to go back to the push-ups. It's like doing a push-up off of the carpet or off of the floor. And the more that you ascend and the more that you rise up above, like if you're doing a push-up, the more you gain perspective about what's going on and the more levels and layers you're going to see. So that's what's being talked about for those of you that are new to ascension. That's what's being cultivated. Because if you are anything like Belle in Beauty and the Beast, since I recently saw that in a production, which was beautiful, by the way, high school did fabulous. Singers were fabulous. Dancers were fabulous. And costumes were fabulous. Direction was fabulous. But anyway, so when you're involved in the 3D world, getting up, eating, going to the gym, doing your job and going to sleep, that's a 3D physical reality. And yes, it's important to make sure that you get plenty of rest and water, and try to make investments, take care of yourself when you get older. But what I'm saying to you is that right now, where we are in time and space, this 3D world that we're living in is one of the most beautiful spaces in time. And it is a pleasure and a joy to be here because we are watching the birth of a new existence. My guides tell me that this planet has beings on it, human beings on it, that have free will choice. And apparently all the other planets in the universe, they have restrictions and they have to fit in little cookie cutter molds, and they don't have as much free will choice as we do. And that's what the joy is of this planet. And so we are going through a space which is way past, what was that? The Aztecs, they had their little dial that told you what was going to happen. Sorry, I don't remember the name of it at the moment. And we're past that. We're past Y2K and, what's on the horizon. And recently we had two planets lock in place, a malefic and a benefic. and all the other planets are going to go around it, changes the frequency on this planet, which changes the frequency within our human bodies, which is causing a lot of us to wake up. And what's really more comical to me is that here it is springtime. And so I tend to think of little cute tiny baby chicks inside their eggs, and they've grown to where they're just big enough to come out and they're poking their noses or their little beaks and they're breaking their shells and it's starting to crack open. And that's the joy of life. They're coming out of their shell because they're finished developing and they're ready to come out and see what's out here. And that's what's happening in this world. So many highly sensitive people, star seeds, sensitives, empaths are waking up and they're realizing, just like that little chick, that this shell they've been in has been confined to what they do in their 3D world every day, day in and day out. And they're realizing that the birth of this new world, or new age as a lot of people are calling it, is one of the most beautiful, sought after experiences. Why do you think the population of this planet is so huge right now? Because souls couldn't wait to get in. And that's where you are. So if you were at all starting to see things differently, see behind the curtain. Do you remember the Wizard of Oz and the old school one? And the guy's, standing behind the curtain and he's pulling all these things and the bells and whistles and the smoke is going and, Dorothy's like, hello? And he's like, oh, don't pay any attention to me, right? Well, right now, a lot of us are Dorothy. And we've been coming down that yellow brick road and we're waking up and we're realizing there's somebody behind the curtain. There's somebody I call the ambiguous they that's orchestrating all of this. What we see. If you haven't seen it, go find a movie called Wag the Dog by Robert De Niro. It'll really help you to understand what's happening now. So ascension is the ability to see beyond the 3D world and see what's really happening. And to understand that the plan is greater than we can possibly imagine. It's a fight for your very soul. If someone can control your mind in your human body, they can control the way that your soul is connected to and the way that you act and react. And you can be very easily enslaved if your brain is enslaved. And from what I saw today, because I had someone nicely share some information with me that I very much appreciated, there's all kinds of ways that our brain can be controlled. And even though I think I have ascended above that, I'm still swimming in the same water as all of you. And I find that my brain is actually being controlled in other ways that I didn't expect. And yes, I took my power back, but who knows how many levels and layers there are. So as you come into a bigger understanding, as you begin to see behind the curtain, as you begin to see where the beauty is in this world, that maybe you didn't see before. Something that you've seen as a beast, locked up in a castle just happens to be, the most wonderful thing or place or circumstance in your life. Ask to see the truth, the love, and the light in your life. And then stay awake and aware and alert. Okay? That's what ascension is. And that's kind of how you know you're doing it, because you're going to feel all these things. And you're going to be like, wow, I never saw that before, and wow, I don't like that anymore. And ooh, that feels icky. And, what's going on? So just stay open, aware, at work, and aware, alert, and awake. And then I'm going to switch channels. And I'm going to go to talk about time speeding up. So if you have any questions about what is ascension and how do I know I'm doing it, right? I just went through that. If you have any questions, still go ahead and post them down below. And then I'm going to show you very quickly. Oh, I don't think I can share screen on here. Sorry, I'm on Facebook tonight because I wanted to see how the stars worked without going through the Zoom platform. So I apologize, I can't switch over. So anyway, I was going to show you pictures of Schumann's. But time speeding up is my next subject. So a lot of folks have been telling me they feel like time is going faster. They're asking me, hey, Deanna, is time actually speeding up? Is time going faster? What is it? So you've got several different things. Again, the human brain is got lots of different things can control it. Anything from, what color a person's wearing to, light displays that you see on the TV, all kinds of things, sound waves, as I found out a couple weeks ago. subliminal messages being sent out to us while we're sleeping, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, time speeding up. So my guides have been telling me that there is a time distortion that's been going on for a while, and that's because where we are in space and time. So back in roughly 99, 2000, our universe apparently travels on a figure eight. Now, if you're a scientist out there and you're watching me and you're like, this woman is full of it, you know, send me your scientific studies, send me a link, let me know. But as I understand it, our universe, which has lots of little arms, looks kind of like an octopus, goes into figure eight. That's what it does. And I don't know how long it takes it to go through all of that. But apparently it'll come to the center of that figure eight, like in between the two bows. And that center of that universe will line up to the center of another universe. So you've got all these universes. And so my understanding is they've all clicked in place. All the figure eights are matching up, if you will. And there's a straight shot through all the universes that are lining up the frequencies and the energies. And so that then creates a time distortion. So yes, in a way, time is going faster. And I'm understanding it'll happen that way till the universe kind of moves out of that. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the guides were telling me it'll last about 52 years from today. Okay, 52 years from today. So if you're somewhere in the future looking back on this video, you know, just let me know if I was right or wrong. But anyway, so the whole point is that there is a vibration, there is a frequency, there is a distortion in actual time. Also, with the planets aligned the way they are, they move the energy on this planet. So think about this very quickly. There is your body, your human body is made out of salt, water, and electric. Okay, how do you think my fingers go like this? Brain, electrical impulses, salt in your body and water in your body. Your body's mostly water anyway. So if you think about it scientifically, we can go and look at the ocean tide and when does it pull out from the shore and when does it come back in? According to the movement of the moon. And I've been on the oceans before where the full moon and the tide would go way super out. And I'd be like running, wanting to look for seashells with the full moon. And everybody's like, oh, be careful. Don't stay out there too long because the tide will come back in. You know, I'm like, oh, when you're younger, you have no idea. So what I'm saying to you is that the reason that we're given in science for that water moving back and forth with the ocean tide has to do with the moon, also has to do with the position of the earth. But that moon has a frequency that is strong enough to shift water. That's why people were called lunatics, because lunacy, lunar, moon. And when the moon was full, it would shift people and they would act a little nuts. So time speeding up. When you have placement of the planets, just like the moon as an example, it's going to change the bioelectromagnetic frequency of the earth. What does that mean? One of my ladies today, I was talking to a client, she's like, what does that mean? Bio is your physical body. Anything that's bio is organic, okay? Bio. Electric is electricity. So bio, body, electro, the electricity, magnetism. That's the magnetic pull, the magnetic frequency. And you've heard about people that walk up to electrical boxes on the outside of a building and it says, high voltage, stay away. Well, that's because if you stay in that electric field too long next to one of those high voltage boxes, it will actually begin to disturb your brain because of the electromagnetic frequency of that. And you'll begin to see things that, quote unquote, aren't really there. That's in a whole nother conversation. Anyway, so time speeding up, what I'm saying is due to the placement of the planets and the frequency and the hertz, which I was going to show you on Schumann's again, and the megahertz, that's shifting your brain. That's shifting the way that your brain perceives reality. So time may not be speeding up at all and just going like it always has, but your human brain, because of the bioelectromagnetic frequency and the pulls of the planet, may be perceiving it as going faster. That's also when we think time speeds up. So there's all kinds of various things and degrees that can happen that can cause that. Also, we're being called upon to do a lot more than we used to do as light workers. So now we have our regular 9 to 5 gig, whatever that might be for you. And we also have the earth job that we're doing. And for those chicks that are waking up, you're realizing there's a lot more responsibility in your connection to the divine and your ability to anchor as a light worker and come together collectively to move the consciousness of the world. So we got lots going on. And anytime you have a lot going on in your life, you're uh, you're less likely to have free time, and it makes things seem like they're going extremely quickly. So I'm going to ask again for a thumbs up if that makes sense to you. If you're getting some value out of it, please click the stars to let me know that you're receiving some value out of this. And if you have any questions, put them in the feed. I'm going to go ahead and say hi to a few people. Then we're going to go to the last subject for tonight. And I'm talking about, let's see here, responsibilities and, oh, let's see, sorry, there's just a lot going on. Now, let's get this going. All right, whoops. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is, I didn't put it on here. Oh yes, 5 steps that you can take right now to alleviate anxiety. Probably the most important thing. So we'll be looking at those here, the 5 steps to alleviate anxiety. And let's go ahead and see what we've got in the comments tonight. And again, welcome everybody. If you find the video to be of value, please do share it. There's a lot of people out there asking a lot of questions right now, and I do the best I can to answer as many questions as I can. And also on toolsofenergyprotection.com, you'll find other articles. If you go to one of my videos, looks like this, just click on it and it'll say, do you want to watch on YouTube? And then you can go over to the YouTube channel and see all the other bits of information that I've been giving out freely to everybody to help them during this time of transition. All right. Hello to Deborah. Good to see you. V Love. Good to see you. Ron, hello. I'm enjoying my little gnome that you gave me. Carol, nice to see you. Hello, Barb. Good to see you. Let's see here. Let's see. Have you ever, okay, Anita says here, have you ever heard of diabetes curing naturally? Let's see here. Okay. So she wants to know if I'd ever heard of having diabetes cured naturally. So Anita, yes, I've absolutely heard of diabetes being cured naturally. And you can actually adjust the bioelectromagnetic frequency of people to get this done, so you can also do that. And you can also connect energetically to somebody's, let's see here. Hang on one just second. Okay. Let me just adjust something here real quickly. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay. So basically you can tap into or connect into people's frequency and shift the diabetes, and then they'll also have to take care of their body in the 3D world and watch what they're eating and taking in. So yes, I have seen the ability to do that, and thank you, Anita, for that question. I really appreciate it. All right, and then let's see if we've got any other comments. Okay, now that looks like about it. All right, so here we go. And again, I thank you all for hanging on here with me. I know sometimes it's not eloquent, Oh, yes, one more thing. So a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned that if you go over to my YouTube channel, and you could just type my name in on YouTube, and go to any of the videos, let's see here. So I started this contest on March the 29th, And if you, well, actually March the 22nd. Anyway, if you go over to any of the videos on the YouTube channel and you enter a question on Akashic Records, I'm going to do 2 20-minute free readings. So you go over to YouTube and find one of the videos, this one or the two before that, and you comment on there and you ask me a question about your Akashic Records, like, are my Akashic Records currently affecting the health of my back or my spinal column? Or are the Akashic Records the reason that I'm having financial issues? Or uh, are me and my significant other in the Akashic Records, star twisted lovers or something? Just anything that you can think of. And I'm going to pick out 2 questions that people have posted, and then I'm going to go back on YouTube and posted you've won, and have you come over and connect with me so we can make sure you get your readings. So be sure and get that done, because I don't know how soon I'll be able to offer that again. I've had so many people responding to the class that I'm putting on Saturday. That too is available, and I didn't put the link down here tonight, so I'm sorry about that. I'm just trying to get on here, and lots of stuff going on. Like I said, we're all expected to step up and do more, so it's just been crazy. But if you go over to toolsofenergyprotection.com and click on Room of Comfort and Healing, you will find all the information you need there about how to get connected for Saturday. I'm going to be additionally putting shields on the shields people already have and upgrading their shields. We will invite some beings to come in and see each one of you wherever you are when you connect in, whatever room you're in, and do some healing. So those are some wonderful things, that we're doing. So anyway, let's keep on, and let's see here. Oh, it's telling me that if I'm having any live stream issues like you said earlier. Okay. Okay. So anyway, they were telling me some things. I just want to make sure my live stream's still going. So 5 steps you can take right now to alleviate anxiety. Woohoo! So give me a thumbs up. Who could use some stress relief or some anxiety relief right now? I'm sure all of you have been feeling it as our world is changing, the world scene is changing. Still a lot of struggle with COVID and getting shots going on. So there's just lots of crazy things right now that are happening. And if you're feeling that, let me know. Okay, I got some thumbs up. Good. All right. Rainey Wilkins, good to see you. All right, here we go. Without further delay, drum roll, please. Okay, 5 steps you can take right now to alleviate anxiety. And these are very easy steps. Number 1 is to drink water. Woo! The body needs water. Remember, I told you it's salt, water, and electric. And the human body is mostly water. Okay, so if you're not drinking or getting enough intake of your water daily, instead you're drinking tea or drinking coffee or soda or whatever it is, the body needs water in order to function. And so if you have a lot of anxiety, a lot of times you've got stuff up in your body, from all the tension and your body's acidic. And if you don't drink that water, the body can't flush it out. And so you're just adding physical stress to your body that's already in fight or flight, and the autonomic nervous system is just, kicking it out. And so that is not good. So you will find if you drink water, also when you drink water, you kind of have to take a breath and sip, and that kind of calms you down as well. So make sure you get yourself a water bottle, get the elixir of life. All right. The next thing to do is listen to something called solfeggio music. So if you go over to YouTube or your favorite place to tune in to music and type solfeggio music, that music is very relaxing, and they also have it and they play it in hertz. Remember, I've talked about Schumann's and the hertz and the megahertz and the frequency. And so if you tune that on or turn that on at night to go to sleep, and you find a particular rhythm or frequency that you like, it will really relax you at night, and you'll be able to sleep much more peacefully. I've turned it on the last couple of nights, and I've slept just absolutely wonderfully and woke up feeling so refreshed. So find that, or another one is the singing bowls. Sometimes I listen to singing bowls at night, of course on a recording, and that helps put me to sleep as well. All right, number 3 for steps you can take right now to alleviate anxiety. One of them, this one is called the tapping method. And I'm sure you've heard of it. I think it's called EFT. The one that I like is called Tapping for Healers, and you can find that in a book form. And so what it is, again, is it's telling the physical body to reset itself from anxiety. So if you're used to pumping that anxiety through every day and getting yourself all worked up and excited, when that triggers, there's a method to tap yourself in a certain order so many times in order to get the body to calm itself down. Now, you still have to work with the mind so it doesn't trigger it again, but it does get you to a more peaceful, rational state where you can take a deep breath and move forward in an easier and more effortless state. All right, the next one. The 4th step to releasing or to alleviating anxiety right now is to notice your emotional triggers. How many of you out there are fine and you're just coasting along and you think you're doing good, you know, you're fighting depression or anxiety, and then something happens that just sets you off and your emotions bubble to the top like a soda can that's been shaken up in the middle of summertime? How many of you can relate to that? Speaking of water, I need to drink my own water. How many of you can relate to that? Give me a thumbs up. All right, I see that. Okay, big hugs and kisses back. Thank you. Yes. So right now, like if this is an anxiety threshold, you know, where after that we lose it, you know, or our heart rate goes up. Most Americans right now are floating right here. And it doesn't take that much to push us over, okay? Right? This is where most Americans are. A little bit happens, boom, explode. And that's because of all the fear mongering that's going on in the news media and just a lot of other things on this planet. So if you can stay tuned into the media only about this much to find out what's going on, that's a little bonus for you because I didn't plan on throwing that out there. But yes, you can alleviate anxiety by doing that. Just stay tuned in enough that you can catch what's going on. Don't get involved in the drama. All right. Notice those emotional triggers. What is it that sets you off? Is it something that somebody says? Is it something that somebody does? And for example, I have a trigger right now that I'm working on keeping, you know, more in a centered balance mode. But I have a trigger because there is a challenge in my life where I feel like I'm not being heard. No matter how much I talk, no matter what I say, no matter how many emails I send, I keep getting a brick wall. And I'm like, what do I have to do to get this brick wall to move? You know, the stalemate to move. And of course, this is a lesson in my life, and Spirit is teaching me all kinds of wonderful things, and I'm grateful for the learning. But it's a trigger for me when I try a different approach to get this brick wall to move. And all I keep getting is different angles of the brick wall. It's like, what is it going to take for me to be heard? What is it going to take for me to be listened to and valued for my opinion and treated with respect instead of brick wall? Any of you feel like that right now? Like no matter how much you talk, you just aren't being heard, or you're not being able to move forward or negotiate or be met halfway? How many of you out there feel like that? That's a huge trigger and a huge source of anxiety. I'm going to wait again just a minute for the feed to catch up. If you're watching this later and you feel that way, please feel free to hit that thumbs up as many times as you want. Okay, there's a few of you that feel that way. And so I recognize that as a trigger for myself. So here's what I mean. If I'm negotiating with somebody and I'm asking for something that's reasonable, you know, not outside the box. It's not like I'm asking somebody to send me, you know, a Lamborghini to come pick me up because they want me to meet them at their house, you know. That's supposed to be funny. A little comedy in each and every show. Anyway, so, I'm asking for something that's reasonable. I'm actually asking for something that I can have within the confines of the rules of this planet. And every time I've asked for it, I get a block. And I'm done with the blocks. And so I kind of elevated myself a little bit more in my reach with them and said, hey, you didn't hear me now. Can you hear me now? And I still got stonewalled. And so that, again, to me, is a trigger. And I became very upset. And, even, stay centered and balanced, but I got upset. And I caught myself being upset. And I said, this is nothing that hasn't happened before. It shouldn't be surprising to you. And there are better ways to handle it than feeling like that can of Coke in the middle of summer that went, pshh, right? So I stepped back, I took a deep breath, I took a little walk, came back, and approached it in a different manner. And that's one of the things that Spirit is teaching us right now in the big scheme of things, is that it is important to notice your triggers that will send you into that anxiety so you can begin to work with them and realize where you are in time and space and realize why things are bothering you, because it's generally pointing in here. And it's generally pointing to something that's happened in this life, sometimes a different time. And by stepping into that and really looking at it, it will make you stronger, and you're going to be able to go to the next step, which is self-forgiveness. So the fifth step to alleviate your anxiety right now is self-forgiveness. And you might say to me, Deanna, I don't have anything to forgive myself for. All these other people are jerks. Hashtag jerks, right? Anyway. But self-forgiveness was being presented to me by my guides in a little bit different angle. They kept talking to me about stuff. And then they showed it to me on a television program, and then they showed it to me on the internet. So anytime I get things in threes, I'm like, oh, okay, I better, check this out. So self-forgiveness is a totally different thing than I was thinking. So if I've had somebody in my early life, usually we develop a lot of our beliefs and judgments in childhood, and somebody kept telling me, no, what you're saying isn't important, and you're just a kid, and you don't know any better, you haven't lived life, blah, 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 blah. Then that's going to make me feel unheard. Does that make sense? It's going to make me feel like I am powerless and disempowered. So I have built up that within me, those walls, my perceptions. And so by forgiving myself, I'm forgiving myself for having believed those people to shape my world in a negative manner. So I turn that self-forgiveness into thankfulness. And I know this may sound weird. It's only something I've heard from my guides for about a week. And it kind of like, what, when they first told me? But it's starting to make more sense. So if you feel disempowered, unheard, unloved, then what I'm asking you to do is forgive yourself for feeling, for accepting what somebody else was telling you about yourself as a truth. Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up if it makes sense. Or put it in the comments down below on YouTube. So forgiveness is seeing that other person that told you something about yourself, and you took it on and you believed it when it simply wasn't true. So you're forgiving yourself for having believed somebody else's agenda, beliefs, ideas, and taking them on as your own, and it only hurts you and limits you. Oh, I'm getting some thumbs up. Thank you. I'm glad that one resonated with you. Resonated. Yeah, enunciation is the key. So that's where it's at. That is where we are in the 5 steps that you can take to alleviate anxiety. Number 1, drink water. Number 2, listen to Solfeggio music. It's a frequency. It will really help you either open your awareness or calm you. Then learn the tapping method. There are all different kinds of them. There's lots of videos, books. And then notice your emotional triggers. What are they? And then how can you work through them? Because an emotional trigger, remember, is nothing more than a mirror that shines inside of you about things that if you work on, you're going to be more centered, more balanced. And that anxiety level we talked about is going to come down. And then also forgive yourself for having believed other people's baloney. Especially when we're younger and we're told you can't do this. Like one of the things I used to hear growing up was, well, money doesn't grow on trees. Well, it doesn't grow on trees, but I can manifest it pretty easily. Anytime I want it, I can turn that tree on and it makes all the money I want it to. Anyway, so it is April the 5th, 2022. I can't believe how fast this year is going. And I will be at For Heaven's Sakes Books this Thursday and Friday. Friday is the discount day, the fair discount day. So if you desire to have an appointment on that day, call 303-964-9339. That's 303-964-9339 For Heaven's Sakes Books in Denver, Colorado. If you're watching this from overseas, like I know some of you have been doing, then contact me through WhatsApp and or leave me a message here, private message, and tell me which country you're in, and we'll set that up in your time zone. So that's pretty exciting. And Thursday I'll be at the bookstore all day, and then Friday. Now the last time I was at the bookstore on Thursday and Friday, I was so booked that I couldn't fit another person into my schedule. So you're gonna call the store tomorrow if this appeals to you. They're already closed now. Actually, I had one man that I spoke with today that was on my wait list, and I was just able to get to him today. So it's super exciting. So many of you needing love out there. So many of you finding changes out there, and you're not sure what's happening. Again, go to toolsofenergyprotection.com, my website. This coming up Saturday, I'm going to be doing a energy shield, and it'll be on a Zoom platform. You can stay in your fuzzy slippers, have a cup of tea. And basically what we're doing is we're going to put into place a shield in your energy that you already have. So if you've already shielded yourself and you have lots of them up, this will be an additional one outside of that. And it will shift how you are handling this anxiety that we're getting from all this stuff that they're putting into our environments mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Okay, it'll give you the up that you need. It'll also release some of that anxiety. I can tell you that. It's amazing to have in place. Then we're going to do a little meditation so I can show you how to go inside and empower yourself. And then after that, I will have some beings, they're light worker beings that are in spirit form, come and be with each and every one of you. Many of the people that have done this before will actually feel the hand of someone on their shoulder, and they look over and there's nobody there. If you don't want to be, touched in that particular manner by a spirit being, you could always tell them they're very loving and they don't want to scare you. So, it's amazing. And just to be in that kind of energy. A lot of my clients tell me they feel it, that they feel a difference in their energy when we're working together, and that's because there are always spirit beings that work with me that will go and be with those people. So anyway, looks like I've got Rainy. Hi, Rainy. Good to see you tonight. And that's it. And I don't see any other questions. So again, remember, please, Saturday, if you're feeling that anxiety and you haven't already signed up, you need, go ahead and sign up for that. You will get an automated email welcoming you to the event and sending you the Zoom link. So make sure that you receive that. I'll send it out a couple times between now and Saturday so that you'll have it. And if you've already signed up and you haven't received that welcome email, then if you're on YouTube, you can put a comment right down here. If you're on Facebook, you can send me a private message up here. You can go to toolsofenergyprotection.com, click on contact, and there's all kinds of ways to reach out to me so we can make sure we get you in there on Saturday. It will be recorded, and you will have 30 days to download the recording and keep it forever if you want, and use it as many times as you want. So that's it, everybody. Big super hugs and kisses. I'm so glad that you came out and joined me tonight. Again, I'm starting to put stars on the bottom. Every time you click a star, I get a little bit of money. So for those of you that have been coming to Tuesday Night Live for years, and you've been asking me how can we, how can we give back? And, you've asked if you could give donations. I'm like, no donations. Well, here's how you can give back is click down here. If you're on YouTube, sorry, you can't really do that, but you can click like and share so that you get notices anytime I'm on. And I love each and every one of you. This is a fantastic time. I'm seeing more and more clients, more and more referrals. I am, this last week, I've been into 3 people's houses, removing demonics and dark portals and all other kinds of things that cause anxiety, and freeing light workers to know that they're totally empowered and they can take control of their own houses, they can take control of their own lives. And it's just amazing to be able to sit here in Colorado, connect into Florida, send my angels, and close dark portals where entities were coming in and out and scaring a little child and have them gone so she is no longer afraid. What an amazing time to be alive, to just be able to do work like that. Can you imagine? It's fantastic, and it's one of the most joyful parts of my job, is to give people freedom. So if you desire your freedom, you want to take your power back, you feel stuck, then reach out to me, share this video. Let's get this work going. And I will be putting up everything in perfect world. The application for the Spiritual Awakening Academy, I'm going to restart it up again. I still have my students going from December. It's a year-long program. And I know a lot of you have been texting me going, where is it? Where is it? And, I've just been, like I said, booked from morning to night with clients, getting things cleared. And sometimes I'm exhausted at the end of the day, and I don't take care of it, so I apologize to you. It's a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of shifts and changes and all kinds of things. So big hugs, big kisses. Hang in there, everybody. And I love you all. And, get up every morning and say, every day and every way, I am stronger and stronger. Every day and every way, I am wiser and wiser. Every day and every way, I am. And then complete what you want. Healthier, wealthier, smarter, do that every day. Okay? Make it part of your daily mantra. And I love you, and have a good day.